Boom! Welcome back, everybody, to The Perfect Bag. My name's Clint, and today we are getting into it with another one-take bag review. Well, kinda. I guess today's video is more of a musing. Not amusing, a musing, although sometimes I am amusing. But we're going to be doing a bit of an intellectual wander here because one of my viewers sent me a video today, and it really got me thinking. The video was some influencer sharing their 3 most important things in a backpack. And it was a pretty good list, and it was really well-made video. Found it fascinating, and it got me thinking, what are my 3 most important things in a bag or backpack? And then it got me thinking, well, what's actually most important to me in determining whether or not I love a bag, whether it's going on the wall or not? So that's what this video is about. This one concept. And in order to understand this concept, I'm going to show you 2 bags that are very different, but tied to this concept. I'm excited. I'm also really curious about what's most important to you in a bag. Is it, high design? Is it durability? Is it design? Is it versatility? There's all kinds of things, characteristics of a general use item, household good, travel item that could emerge as the most important thing on your list. Maybe it's recycled materials. Maybe it's the item has to be carbon neutral. Maybe it's the item has to fit a particularly important bit of kit that you take everywhere and protect that item. So let's dive into it, everybody. We're going to use this bag to drive our conversation and discussion. What is this? This is the Harvest Label Reload Tote Bag from Japan. All right. So you all know I have a huge affinity for Japanese bags. I also particularly enjoy Harvest Label, and the Reload series is fantastic. I've already had a chance to review the mini tote from the Reload series. I highly recommend that bag, and you can go watch that video on the channel. Unfortunately, right now, Harvest Label is not shipping to the United States from their site. There are workarounds to that. If you're interested in talking about that, please let me know. But for now, and I don't think it will last for much longer, for now, Harvest Label not shipping to the US directly from their Japanese website. All right, second bag, this humble thing. So we're going to, with these 2 bags, explore this concept. Monozukuri. Monozukuri? Monozukuri. Yes, Monozukuri. And my pronunciation is probably crap. So look up, Google, how do I pronunciate Monozukuri? Monozukuri. What is that word? Well, it's Japanese. And one of the things I love about the Japanese language is that there are lots of words for feelings, or words that, like mono no aware, as an example. Words that tie to experiences, feelings. There's also deeper meaning in some of the words, especially when written with Japanese characters and not English characters. But monozukuri means manufacturing. Pretty simple, right? So that would lead you to believe that the most important thing to me with a bag is good construction. It's part of it. It really is part of it. But there is a little bit of a layered meaning, a deeper meaning to this term, this phrase. And like most words, that layered meaning has built up over time. Maybe didn't start with as much meaning, but over generations, it has picked up meaning, okay? Like moss on a stone. I did a rolling motion. I guess that wouldn't work for a moss on a stone. But anyways, that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with that idea. So if it's more than just manufacturing, what is it? Well, this term is famously associated with Toyota and some of the larger Japanese companies that have redefined work and manufacturing and industry in Japan and all over the world with continuous improvement, kaizen, continuous improvement, and this idea of committing yourself to your craft, trial and error, experimentation, getting it right, thousands of reps on a thing to make sure that you get it right. There's also an element of human-centric focus and design, producing an item that is a joy to use, a pleasant experience to use. The output of Monozukuri is producing an item that will last, that will go through its entire life, from crafting and creation through purchase, use, and reuse and repair, and ultimately end of life. But these products are, well, let me give you another non-Japanese concept. Have you heard of Guy Clark? If you haven't, congratulations. I just introduced you to a great singer. So go back and look up the song Stuff That Works by Guy Clark, okay? This idea of something that is well made, stuff that works, stuff that holds up, the kind of stuff you reach for when you fall. I hope I don't get copyrighted for that. I don't sound like Guy Clark. But it's, again, this concept of a well-made thing. And you've heard me say in my videos before that, my dad used to say, that's got a good heft to it, indicating that the tool that he was using, building a boat, fixing a fence, the tool that he was using was a quality thing, and he enjoyed it, and it brought joy to him in using it for its purpose, not just hanging on a wall. I called myself out. Not just hanging on a wall, but being put to use, and the joy, the simple pleasure in using that item that was meticulously crafted, that was built with intentionality, that was, refined. And I don't think what I'm talking about here in terms of what I value most in a bag needs to be from an 80-year-old company, but there needs to be expertise in the construction. There needs to be expertise in the design, expertise in the conception of the product, of the bag. And it needs to serve the user, not just look good. It needs to serve the user, and it needs to be, you all hear me talk about constantly, the joy of use, okay? It's a big part of human-centered design, the joy of use. And so this joy of use concept, how does it feel when you grab it by the handle? How does it feel when you unzip it? How does it feel to take your laptop in and out of it? How does it feel to walk with the bag? How does the strap feel on your shoulder? How does it sit? How does it ride at your hip? Can you dial it in? Can it be comfortable? Your most used items, is there a home for them? Is there a place for them? Love the concept. So we're not going camera 2 today, but I'll zoom in and out, and I've done that a little bit already. I'll zoom in and out today. It's a new dynamic I'm trying. Zoom in and out to show you a little bit of what I'm talking about. We're going to start here with this Harvest Label Reload tote. Okay, so you've got a lot going on here. First off, can you see the 4 different colors of green and different types of material? Rough nylon, we've got some Cordura on the bag, we've got some shiny nylon like in the Tanker series from Porter. We've got 2 different chunky toothy zippers. I love the intentional design choices here. It is sage green, but it's so much more than sage green. And it's tactile, meaning that the bag is not just a pleasure to look at, it's a pleasure to interact with. So you've got really wide zipper pulls to pull against on the bag. You can see one up here and one down here for this particular zipper, but then you've got none for this zipper because it cuts straight across the bag, and it's easy to grab, easy to grip, and it glides really easily. But this bag has chunkier zipper pull, and so practically speaking, it's a little bit harder to pull across, and you're going at a different or weird angle depending upon how you're carrying this bag or where it's sitting. So you've got something to pull against, creating a little bit more ease within the work of opening the bag. And that's what we're talking about with Monozukuri. Man, if I'm mispronouncing that, I'm just gonna, But check out how beautiful it is. What is this? What is this? This is a feature. If you go back and look at Harvest label totes, this feature doesn't exist on the Wingman series. It doesn't exist on the Flyers series. It doesn't exist on a lot of bags from Harvest label. There is a small pocket, there's two of them actually, on the Flyers 70XX or the Super Hercules from Harvest label, but this pocket has been intentionally widened. Why has it been widened? It's been widened to carry modern Bluetooth headphones. This is an AirPods pocket. Now, I'm also using it. We'll zoom in on this pocket, all the way in, all the way in. I'm also using this pocket for sanitizer. But this is an AirPods pocket. It is excellent at that. And it could be a real beast to close. But look at this. Y'all have heard me talk about this before. There is space, a little lip here underneath the bottom of the snap. And that allows you to easily close the bag. That little bitty hook of fabric there is like 3 extra steps in the manufacturing, but it fixes what could be the most frustrating part of the bag, which is trying to reclose your AirPods pocket after you've taken out the AirPods and put them in your ear and turned it into a simple everyday joy. That one intentional design choice made a world of difference in the usability and pleasure of using this bag. All right, what have I done with this bag in terms of my storage? Up top here, wallet, Game & Watch. This pocket, by the way, drops here, mimics like a bicycle pannier? No. I guess this would be a frame bag. Looks like a bicycle frame bag. This bag, this pocket, is the whole kit and caboodle, up and down. I've dropped in a charger into here, and that's it for right now. Toothy, beefy, chunky pocket. Really, really nice. There are 2 bottle pockets on the side, okay? And so why would you need 2 bottle pockets? Not because everybody in Japan is dual wielding bottles, but because one can fit your umbrella. A lot of commuters in Japan would have on them 1 Pocari Sweat and 1 umbrella. I've put in here my gimbal, as I am wont to do with bottle pockets. And on this side, I've put a tripod. So it is a slim pocket. It folds away. There's not much to it, but it's easy to use, and it is deep. Deep. Right? Deep. How deep is your pocket? Deep enough that I never have to worry about my bottle falling out. Thoughtful design, impeccable craftsmanship. I mean, just look at the bag. Look at the bag. And it extends to the hardware on the bag. Also really well crafted. Simple snap up top here to hold that together. It also extends to the strap on this bag, which is very comfortable, as you can see. Not just a strap, but a very cush strap for long walks and train commutes. Very nice, with superior hardware, because this part of the bag, that should be a joy to use too. Nice swivel hooks. They could have just gone with Duraflex. They went with a gunmetal powder coated material that I can almost guarantee they had made just for them. All right, on the back of the bag, We have a luggage pass-through, which is oriented the right way to not have the tote contents move around on you. And then you have another snap with another ease of re-entry of the snap quality of life hook there. If a bag maker cares, look for a snap and see if they've elevated that snap and allowed you to get your finger underneath it so things can be re-snapped easily without pain. Love it. Got a Kindle back here in this pocket. You can see the Cordura tag here. Beautiful. Look at the different materials and colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just on the back. Yeah. And then shiny material. Yeah, really, really nice. And then look at the handles themselves. It's not a padded handle, but this is a scratchy material on the top. So on the reverse, they've used a shiny seatbelt nylon so that the part of the handle that your hand holds is faced with a beautiful smooth material. Feels nice to hold. Really, really cool. All right, this is the challenging part of no camera number 2. Full zip top for some limited waterproofing, although none of the zippers on this bag as a military inspired bag are AquaGuard per se. Inside this bag, should we do camera 2? I don't think you'll be able to see inside the tote well without camera 2. So yeah, let's do camera 2. We will stick with camera 2 for the rest of the review. Let's do the thing. Here we are in camera 2. And here's the bag. That's the back side. You can really see the different colors better in this view. The craftsmanship is just crazy insane. What a beautiful bag. Again, the Reload series from Harvest Label. All right, inside the bag, what do we have? Well, we've got a laptop sleeve for smaller devices. This is a Chromebook. I think a 13 or 14-inch laptop fits in here just fine. A 15, depends on the 15-inch laptop, I think. Harvest Label, Harvest Corporation. Out of Osaka, if you're wondering, Osaka. Over here, what do we have? Well, we have an interior water bottle pocket too. Not everybody would want to put their umbrella or bottle on the exterior of their bag, so there is an interior pocket here. But this interior pocket is simple and it folds away. You can see it is just a piece of fabric that would hold a bottle in place, but also it just folds away when not in use. On the front side of the bag, inside, there is one pocket, dual zip, and it is stretch mesh, another material. Why is it stretch mesh? To allow you to put in things that have different volume. And it feels tactilely very interesting to have another item or another kind of fabric in the bag. Really nice pocket there. So inside there's the 3 pockets. Laptop pocket, it's padded and suspended off the bottom of the bag. Stretch mesh zipper pocket and a hideable or deployable bottle pocket. I've also got my AirPods Max in here and some reading material in here. The City and Its Uncertain Walls, new from Haruki Murakami, my favorite author. All right, so, I love this bag, Monozukuri. I think that this bag is living that concept, a polished bit of craftsmanship that is focused on the human element within design, the process, the work, which is using the item as intended, the work for the user rather than the craftsperson, is a joy because of the ideation, intentionality that went into designing the bag. It really is a joy to use. But huge fan of this bag. This whole series, honestly, is a joy to use. The mini tote is probably my favorite of the bags in this series, but this tote is a close second, and it is very, very, very nice for a laptop carry. All right, I promised you 2 bags. Here's the second bag. Couldn't be more different, right? It's a first aid kit. F-A-K, first aid kit. And it is from Tough Possum Gear. Tough Possum Gear. There's the logo. Link in the video description. I saw this and just had to have it. Not because I'm addicted to carrying a first aid kit or really in a place where I need a gigantic first aid kit, but I love the intentionality of the design. You have this white cross, which screams medic. It's the symbol for medic, but it's also made out of reflective material, really well sewn on here, so that if you are digging in your bag with a flashlight in the middle of the night, out in the woods, at an accident site, whatever, you can get to this easily because it will shine back at you from the light of the moon, your flashlight, whatever you're using. Okay, amazing. Then you have to be able to get in easy. So what do we have? On the zippers, we have not just paracord, but these red plastic balls, which make it easy to just grab it, grip it, and rip it, and get this bag open fast. Just grab it, rip it open, okay? On the back, what do we have? Another pocket for little stuff, but it's not just a pocket. There's the recognition here that everybody's going to need something different with the attachment of a first aid kit and the gear that they carry. So this is hook and loop compatible, can slap into the back of a backpack. And there's also another attachment, which of course I didn't bring to the camera like a dummy, but whatever. There's another attachment that can make this MOLLE compatible. And so that would allow you to clip this on the front of a bag or an interior MOLLE panel. So, wow, again, human-centered design. This is a really well-made bag, well-made product. It's got 2 pockets in here. Yep, made in the USA by Tough Possum Gear, small maker. And I've just got my everyday first aid kit set up in here. Some scissors and gauze and bandages and some antibacterial stuff, some sanitizer, etc., etc. You can see down here, that's the logo, Tough Possum Gear. It's a simple bit of kit, but I think, again, it illustrates the purpose of somebody taking it seriously, because you could just make a red bag. I mean, there's hundreds of first aid kits on Amazon that you can purchase that come stocked with a whole bunch of stuff and are not a joy to use. And anything you interact with should do its purpose, do it well, and be a pleasure to not only look at, but interact with. So this bag in a very different function than this bag. This bag in a, high risk sometimes, high necessity situation. This is not a life or death first aid kit, by the way I've packed it out. But a bandage, gauze, antibiotics, treating a small cut, treating a wound, etc. Yeah. It's a beautiful little pouch. I love it for what it is. And I love the intentionality. Clearly, we didn't just start in this place. The maker at Tough Possum Gear has gone through multiple iterations to get the bag dialed in, get it to this place. It is well built. It is a work of art. All right, functional art, industrial art, utilitarian art. That's probably the word. Okay, so what am I looking for in a bag then? What do I mean by Monozukuri? Well, I think what I'm trying to convey with this video is the idea that bags that are mass-produced and pumped out by the thousands and marketed on social media, and you get them in hand and you're like, meh, feels poor, not fun to use, feels like it's going to fall apart. But also, you get some really expensive bags that you get in hand. A great example of this is my Goruck GR2 X-Pack. Got that in hand. I loved how it looked. But then once I started using the zippers with the rain guards and the aqua guard and the 90-degree angle that they had to go around, immediately I said, I hate this. I hate this. That's, by the way, why I had that one fixed by Ken Walker. And now I love it. Okay? So there are ways to take something that is close to providing you the kind of joy of use that I'm talking about, mod them, fix them up. You see me do it all the time on the channel. You know, cut off the beaver tail, put on the paracord, trim the handle, etc. So I hope this was an interesting video for you. I'm curious about what is most important to you when buying a bag. What's the most important concept or characteristic or property that the bag must have for you to truly enjoy it? For me, I've landed on this concept, Monozukuri. And I believe that it speaks to what I'm trying to convey. The idea that through intentional manufacturing, craftsmanship, design, because this word was not invented by Toyota. This word applied to traditional crafts, pottery as an example. Through intentionality, you can arrive at joy. Joy not only for the maker who knows that they have built something good, but joy for the end user, something that is immensely satisfying in its basic use. And I think that can be anything. It can be your favorite cereal bowl. You know you have a favorite cereal bowl. It can be your favorite pen. It can be your pocket knife. That thing that feels right to you. It feels right, like it was designed for you, like it was built for you, and that it will last. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed making it. If you want to support the channel, well, you know the drill. You can become a member. You can also check out the many ways to support the channel in any of the video descriptions. I appreciate y'all, and I appreciate my dear viewer who got me thinking about this today. Thank you so much. But everybody, thank you. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. And remember, new videos every 3 days. Make sure you subscribe. Bye for now, everyone.